because we spent money on ads, regardless if we had a ROAS or not, or we broke even, or even we lost money, the eyes and the optics that are now on our brand just always being in front of people's faces, there's extreme value in that.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Pit Stop, where if you are on your race to become a creative entrepreneur, stop here for a free bit of insight from two creative entrepreneurs who have launched and run several, seven-figure DTC brands. And one of the things in our journey as creative entrepreneurs that we want to share today is running Facebook ads. We've probably spent to date, this isn't an accurate, I'll probably put the actual number right here. This wasn't planned. This is just kind of a little off the cuff episode, but we've definitely, I think it's safe to say we've spent over probably $1 to $2 million between brands. I mean,
bro, no, more than that.
Yeah.
Easily.
On Facebook ads, right? So the number is in the millions on ads. And this is like an insight on like what we've learned from that, the positive upside, and some of I feel like some of the downside shortcomings from ads that we've seen recently in 2024.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think first and foremost, there's this connotation with oh, I don't have budget to run ads. And I feel like that's something that we thought as well starting out. And I think most people, it's oh, I don't have money to run ads. But if you run a successful ad right away, or have a good piece of content to run ad behind and put money behind it, or have an agency to run the ads for you, if you spend $1 and make $2, you have the budget to run ads because you're making that money. So I think a common misconception is oh, I don't have, $20,000 to run ads this month. But if you just spent the $20,000 and you made $40,000, you have the money. I don't know if that.
No, I mean, that's kind of the really fascinating paradox with running ads. If I told you, hey, give me $10 and I'll give you $20, wouldn't you want to see that and be all right, well, give me 100 and I'll give you 200. It's kind of this money machine, right? If you can basically input one amount and get a 2 or 3x return, I mean, that's where you see these brands doing hundreds of millions of dollars as they're spending probably hundreds of millions of dollars in ads.
That's called ROAS, return on ad spend. So if you have a 2x ROAS, that would basically be you spend $100, you get 200 back. If you have a 3x ROAS, it'd be you spend $1, you get 3 back.
So Facebook ads are definitely a bit different than just running a sponsored post on Instagram. I think when we started out, we would just put oh, let's put $50 behind that. That honestly is the worst idea possible, unless you're simply going for impressions and all you care about is getting eyes on your content. I think it works for that. But something, and I don't want to get too in the weeds, but basically when you start running Facebook ads, if you're doing it yourself and you kind of teach yourself how to do it, or, obviously we have a course that kind of dives into some of the digital marketing components, you're going to install a Facebook pixel or meta pixel on your site. It's basically a little bit of code that can track where, when it comes from an ad, now that they're on your site, if they convert and buy something, Facebook says, hey, and waves a little flag, this purchase from this customer came from this ad. It attributed to that ad. So you now know that that ad that you spent some money on, they came to your site, and now that little pixel tells the ad, hey, they actually came and they purchased. So that allows you to have attribution. When you just do a sponsored post, you don't know if they came to your site. You don't know if running $100 a week on a post, if they converted, right? So it is, I think we learned that initially the hard way because we were spending, let's run $100 a week on this.
I think something that's super interesting that we kind of found out is that there's certain companies out there that don't even care if they get a ROAS. They just want they're happy if they break even, and they just want the eyes and exposure. And I think there's something to be said there is that because we spent money on ads, regardless if we had a ROAS or not, or we broke even, or even we lost money, the eyes and the optics that are now on our brand just always being in front of people's faces, there's extreme value in that, because then people start to associate you as this brand. And remember, it's what's that phrase where it's basically, if it's always in front of you, you're going to, what is the word I'm looking for? It's when something's in front of you and always in front of your face, you're going to out of sight, out of mind, right? So if you're not in front of people's faces, you're out of sight, then you're out of their mind. So by being in sight and being in front of them, being in their eye line because you're running ads, maybe they don't convert on that first time or even the second time, but they know about your brand now. And maybe something comes up where it's like, oh, I need a filter. And it's like, oh, Prism Lens Effects, I've seen 100%. Them. And they go back. So maybe it's like, maybe the ad itself doesn't even convert and you get the ROAS right then, but long-term longevity of just being in front of people's faces and your brand and your company, there's value in that as well. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about. I think they look at the finite, just direct number. Oh, we didn't make money. I didn't have budget. I spent much. I lost money here. And it's like, I think our brands are well known within the film community and indie space because of ads that we've ran.
No, 100%. I mean, funny enough, we went to a filmmaking trade show in Vegas. It's called NAB. And as we're walking around the booths in between some of the presentations you were doing, people would come up like, yo, I seen you in that ad. And it's like, oh yeah, like which one? The one where I'm talking about our film titles. Like, oh dude, that was the one. And literally, like, I mean, I kid you not, this happened time and time again. And the thing is, yeah, to your point, out of sight, out of mind, like an ad, maybe it doesn't convert on day one. That's called top of funnel. And we'll probably do another whole series talking about the whole marketing funnel. Just from our perspective, you know, we do have like this Roadmap 3.0 course that really dives into all that funnels, into like way more granular. But from our perspective, like top of funnel would basically be something where it's like their first touch point. Oh, this is cool. You know, they see the ad and then they scroll past it. That's basically, they know of you now. Then bottom of funnel or middle of funnel is like the next tier. Maybe you offer them a little bit of an offer code to come to your site. And then like bottom of funnel is like they've had multiple touch points with your brand. That bottom of funnel is like they're really warm to you. They know your product. They know what it does. They've seen some of the utility. So the bottom of funnel is usually like a little bit more of a higher incentive offer. Maybe, hey, come take 20% off. Like, we do that all the time because we know that they know our brand and they're probably so close to purchasing. So the whole funnel aspect, I know this is kind of a side deviation, but it does play into Facebook ads because our agency who we work with, who, you know, does a lot of the Facebook back end and, you know, because we try to dive into that and like, it's interesting. I know you were more in like the Facebook dashboard, but let's be honest. I've heard this like kind of analogy, like Michael Jordan should be on the court. Michael Jordan should not be mopping the locker room, right? Like we should be making content and making products. We should not be in the nitty gritty back end learning. You know, it is helpful to understand all these aspects, but like at the end of the day, if your strong suit is creating content or building a brand, hire people to do that stuff because at the end of the day, it's going to like allow you to kind of do what you're good at. But ultimately what I was trying to convey is like, we have an agency who does, you know, hey, can you create a top of funnel ads? Then we know, cool. We'll do a little UGC content. We'll do, you know, oh, we need a bottom of funnel ad. Oh, okay, cool. So like there's different, like those Facebook ads kind of work in those three tiers.
And I feel like, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I would personally say like, if you're on the fence of whether or not you should run ads for your brand or your company or when you should start, I personally think you should develop a little bit of a following and trust and customer base before you start running ads. If you're a brand or a company that has no sales, no customers, no trust, to just out of nowhere spend a bunch of money on ads, I think you're going to have a lot harder time generating sales. I know for us, we're able to right away get a good solid following going with Prism and Tropic through, you know, digital marketing, through social media posts, YouTube videos and different things. And we already had customers and sales. And then once we realized like, oh, like we should run ads, like we could probably see a lot more money. Then we started running ads and it worked. And don't get us wrong. Like we've definitely also lost money running ads. Like, you test stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but it's all part of the game. And I don't think we would have the sales we have to this day. Actually, I know we wouldn't, like if we weren't running ads. So running ads is an important and crucial part, but that's not to say that you can't generate sales without running ads, because even when we launched Tropic and Prism, like we never ran ads and we were still doing tens and 20s and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales a year. And so, or a week, month, year. So,
and if running ads is something that's a little daunting to you, I think, like Jake mentioned, building a following is very helpful. You know, obviously people love to support other people, right? If you're just this faceless brand running ads, it's kind of hard to like root for them. And I think there's a lot of things you can do literally for free. We're going to do another one of these pit stops talking about ManyChat. Honestly, just creating UGC content, user generated content on Reels. Like that's the thing too. Like we've been actually seeing a shift. Not that ads don't play a part in our business. They do play a massive part. Yeah. But a lot of the organic content we create for free, because we are content creators, generates sales as well. So I do think it's not, you shouldn't like it's like a whole pie, right? I think ads at this moment in time definitely are a considerable slice of our revenue pie, but it's not our only slice. Like we lean on other levers too, because there was a big shakeup in 2021 where Facebook, like the pixel thing I was mentioning, got like turned off for Android. There was like, it was like a huge kind of like crisis mode for digital marketers, because the attribution Android, or no, I think Apple was like, yeah, we don't want pixel tracking on Safari or Apple devices, which everyone has an Apple device. So we didn't know if our ads were firing or attributing. So, you know, it really has caused a big shakeup in the marketing industry. And that's why we have definitely been able to rely heavier on, you know, reels and UGC content and stuff of that nature. So there's a lot of levers you can pull, but I definitely think ads ultimately allow you to get beyond your audience. If you have 10,000 followers, ultimately when you post about your product, your core audience will probably buy or support you. How do you get beyond those 10,000 followers? Ads allow you to get beyond, like, to millions of people, right? So it's basically allows you to kind of like cross the wall of your followers to other
because at a certain point you're gonna have tapped the well. You know what I mean? And so ads help you get there. But yeah, again, it's not to say that with, you know, social media content, especially now, like with reels and TikTok, like you can get things to go viral and generate sales. Like one of our videos on Prism did 30+ million views and led to, you know, thousands of followers. And you know, I guarantee you from that,
pre-orders on that filter,
sales, pre-orders on that filter, and other things. So this was just a little pit stop talking about ads, and
for sure. I mean, a lot of how we want to lens these is obviously free resources for you to come here, get a little pit stop, get a little inspiration, but just to like really let you know from the several seven-figure DTC brands that we've run, like sharing our insights and perspectives. Like it's not the only perspective, but it's ours. You know what I mean? And this is, we've had a track record of running ads and building brands. So we always just want to give you that point of contact and like our perspective on some of these things. So that's pretty much it for this one.
Yeah. If you want to learn also more about what we're doing at CEO, you can check the links in the video description. Go follow us on Instagram. We have courses, guides, documents, products for sale, products you guys can buy, use for your business and resell, info on how to set up your own online store, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, we're just trying to create a platform where we can help creatives who want to be entrepreneurs start their journey and grow.
Cool. See you on the next one.